Hello, this is Mike from Windows7Forums.com. In this video, I'm going to discuss ways to prevent fraud and identity theft. This can include warnings about fake phone calls related to computer problems, which seem to be becoming more prevalent. As a matter of fact, I've received one of these calls, and you will hear the absolute ridiculous and absurdity of the message in this instructional video. Let's move on, shall we? This video is provided by Windows7Forums.com, which is an open marketplace of ideas. Visit our website for information on Windows 7, technology in general, and join as part of our discussion group. We have thousands of members from all around the world, and you are more than welcome to join our community. Fake phone calls warn of doom to your computer, and the phone calls can have an automated voice with a robot or an automated voice with a human. The characteristics are usually the same. The phone calls can even have an actual person calling you. In every instance, the phone call will tell you that your computer is at risk and that you have to either call another number or that personal information is needed from you immediately. The person will not be able to clearly identify themselves over the phone. If you ask them who they are working for, who they are, etc., they may not be able to provide that information to you because they are committing fraud. This is very important. You need to be proactive if you get any of these types of phone calls. They should be able to allow you to confirm their identity via other means. And what this means is that if they are a legitimate caller, for example, if a Microsoft representative called you, they need to be able to confirm to you that they are who they say they are. And they can do that through a number of methods. One way is to use email to make sure that this is the right person. Another way can be to use a website, which can help you authenticate the individual by signing into a secure website. Other ways can be through conventional mail or contact in person. However, when you get a suspicious phone call like this, usually the last thing you want to do is meet the person in real life. Determining true intent is an important goal for you. You are the recipient of this message, and you are the victim of fraud just by receiving the message. This is important for you to understand because if you can understand the true intent, you can understand why you're getting this call, what the purpose is. 9 times out of 10, these calls are to get your information from you in order to charge up your credit cards, to bill your bank account, or to sell the information to third parties, which is also known as data mining. Here's an example of a fraudulent call, which I will play for you right now.
Wait for system report. Your computer ID is 17764-B. Attention. This is an automated computer system alert. Your computer protection service is not active. To activate computer protection and repair your computer, go to www.soslw.com. Failure to do so may result in severe computer malfunction. Attention. This is an automated computer system alert. Your computer protection service is not active. To activate computer protection and repair your computer, go to www.soslw.com.
You've got to be kidding me.
Attention. This is an automated computer system alert. Your computer protection service is not.
Notice that the source of this call is completely unknown. The perpetrator of this call used Skype, which is voice over IP technology that was recently acquired by Microsoft Corporation. The caller had a ID called Notification Trademark System Update us.f1.urgent.notification. Now, this type of caller ID is very strange, and no one has a trademark on the word notification. So this is an automatic indicator that this person is not who they say they are. The robot voice is a great indication. And the fact that they put US at the beginning, urgent notification, etc., this is all designed to give you the idea of authenticity. In fact, there is no way for a third party to know that something is wrong with your computer whatsoever without you having given access to them to begin with. The best solution is to laugh at this recording and block it immediately. Block the user, don't let them call you again. And of course, it's very improbable that you may find out where the information is coming from. So whoever got this information, they may just be picking you at random. Windows7forums.com has a user database that is secured with a 256-bit encryption cipher. We take security extraordinarily seriously, and we have never had a leak in 5 years. However, the user database itself contains mostly email addresses without phone numbers or other pertinent contact information. How do you prevent this type of fraud? And in general, how do you prevent fraud on the internet? Well, this is a discussion where we could have a classroom debate about it, but I'm going to give you some information that I believe may be helpful. I have 3 years of forensic psychology from a criminal justice college, and I believe that this may be helpful to you. Some of the information I received was conveyed directly from the White House at that time, which I was pretty proud of. Okay, do not believe that an unidentified individual from anywhere who asks for your personal identifiable information. So just forget about what this says on the screen. Do not believe anyone who is unidentified who asks for your personally identifiable information. You must view them skeptically. If you do not, you are going to become a further victim, and there comes a point where nothing can be salvaged. I can recall a time when I woke up and I was called on a Saturday morning, and I was asked if I bought over $600 of groceries in the nation of Colombia. Now, I live in New York in the United States, and this was a call from Citibank, and this was before the banking collapse, and it had turned out that someone had figured out a way to hack an entire range of credit card numbers in Colombia, and they used it probably to charge up a whole bunch of drugs, but it came up as a grocery store, which we know is not true. Either that or it was a grocery store, and they were making some big money there. Either way, I immediately notified the individual, who was a high-level executive at Citibank at the time, that I did not make these transactions, that I lived in the United States and had never left the United States, and my account was secured. I was very fortunate. So again, this can include credit card numbers, debit card numbers, social security, or other entitlement information in your country. If your country provides a social safety net and that social safety net relies on certain numbers that would be required to be used in order to establish your identity, like here in the United States, we have the social security system that dates back to the New Deal era under Franklin Roosevelt. This information is sought by fraudulent entities to basically steal your identity. Do not give up this information easily. The information that these people may look for can include your address, your age, and information about other people in your family. This is information that is private to you. There is no reason for anyone to have it, much less an unidentified third party. Some calls are used for data mining, while many are used to steal contact information. this is basically the same thing. Data mining usually involves aggregate data. So the caller or the solicitor, from whatever means it's going to be, whether email, telephony, or standard mail, is going to use this information in an aggregate form. So they're going to get 10,000 people's information or 100,000 people's telephone numbers, and they're going to aggregate that information and use it for some nefarious purpose. This is different from simple theft, which would involve simply getting your information and using it immediately. Data mining might actually be considered a little bit more sinister. What you need to do if you get nonstop telephone calls like the one that you just heard that I got is to contact a law enforcement agency. You may be able to put in a police report. Here in the United States, we have a federal do not call list, which prevents marketers from sending you telephone calls. However, there are limits to what a law enforcement agency can do. But if you continue to receive harassing phone calls over and over and over again, law enforcement can take action that can help you. Other modes of operandi. How do these people work exactly? Online websites often use scareware to create a pop-up that warns that your system is facing impending doom unless you do something that requires you to fix your computer. You will often see some sort of fake scan occurring. In fact, what this usually is an animation. It has nothing to do with your computer in real life, and it usually is targeted towards Windows XP machines, although newer scareware tactics are now involving Windows 7 machines. These websites are completely fraudulent. They're fake. And if you're at a place where you think you shouldn't be, you probably should get out of there. Whatever you do, you do not want to answer yes or no. You want to hit the X button and get out of there. As a matter of fact, I advocate Control-Alt-Delete. And we'll talk about that in a second. Scareware can be a deliberate attempt to steal personally identifiable information and resell it or use it. This is the nature of this software. They want your information. They want to be able to resell it. They want to be able to use it. And they want your money. I want to be very clear about something because I am the owner of Windows7Forums.com as well as other websites, domain names, and services. We only sponsor high-quality products that help pay for our system expenses. Our monthly expenses for our server and related costs exceed about $1,000 a month. We look into products before we decide to sponsor them or endorse them, and those endorsements are made very clear on our website. We do not allow people to go around spamming links to all sorts of junk, viruses, malware, trojans, rootkits, worms, and other threats. This is something we take very seriously, and an inordinate amount of time is taken to prevent that material from ever getting out to the public. These people are nefarious, and they spare no expense at attacking innocent people. But we will only sponsor products that are legitimate, that work, and that work well. Particularly, some newer sponsorships that we're looking at are excellent. What you want to do with a scareware program, if it comes up on your web browser, which is usually where you're going to start seeing it, is hit Control-Delete and immediately close the scareware pop-up or immediately restart your computer to avoid this problem. So you may even want to shut down your computer right away. If you start seeing something like this going on, just shut the system down. And this is usually when you start seeing messages and pop-ups coming up, etc., etc. Now, a lot of this is the result of not updating your system and not having a good antivirus suite. It's one thing to have an antivirus program. It's another thing to have an entire suite of software that's a security suite. ESET Smart Security is one such security suite I can think of that provides antivirus, anti-malware, anti-trojan, anti-rootkit, anti-worm, all sorts of different mitigation of security risks that are all over the internet. if you run a simple antivirus that will detect viruses, but malware, Trojans, rootkits that allow the entire takeover of your system are an entirely different thing than just a virus. So you need to understand that there's an entire industry involved in taking over your computer and commandeering it, as well as getting your information. An entire underground black market exists for this information. Thank you very much for paying attention to this discovery. Please visit us at windows7forums.com. This is Mike Farah. I'm 7-time certified in information technology, and I'm a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. Take care.